For the best mix of affordability and perks, you're probably wondering what the best prime hotel to stay at Universal is for you.
We're talking Terra Luna, Stella Nova, and Aventura today. It's the battle of the primes.
We're not talking Optimus Prime.
When we're talking prime level hotels at Universal, we're talking increased amenities. We're talking closer proximity to the parks. So today we're gonna break it all down. Rooms, theming, location, prices, amenities, all of it. So stay tuned so that you can make the best decision for your Universal Orlando adventures.
Kicking things off, we're gonna talk a little bit about location of each of these three hotels because you're gonna wanna know where they're at in proximity to the different Universal parks. On top of it, when it comes to location, you're also going to wanna know transportation options because depending on where you stay, it may impact how long it takes you to get there.
Starting things off with Aventura. Aventura is located as what we'll call the Legacy Universal Orlando campus.
The OGs.
The OG, closer to Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure.
Aventura is about a 15-minute walk, maybe a little slower if you're going at a leisurely pace. And on top of it, it provides free shuttle service to and from the hotel to City Walk. If you're
oh no, I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, you didn't hear this from us, but if you want to take a water taxi, you can just scoot on over to Sapphire Falls. There is not a water taxi available at Aventura, but there are a few around. You didn't hear that from us.
Aventura is also close to Volcano Bay. It actually has its own walkway to the main entrance of Volcano Bay. So if you're planning to utilize Volcano Bay as part of your Universal Orlando vacation, highly consider Aventura for its proximity to the water park.
It's in Aventura's backyard.
Yeah.
So having that right next to things, pretty darn nice.
One thing you will have to consider if you're staying at the Legacy campus at Universal is the time that it will take to get from that campus over to Epic Universe starting on May 22nd. The shuttle service from Aventura to City Walk takes anywhere from 10, 12, maybe 15 minutes if traffic is heavy. We suspect that the shuttle service from Aventura to Epic will be equivalent in right around that 15 minutes.
I'd say for sure 15 minutes if it's a busy time of day, maybe 20, but Universal has been doing a fantastic job staying on top of their shuttle services and really making sure there is always another shuttle coming.
We will be sure to confirm the timing once Epic Universe opens, and if there's any change to that shuttle time, we will be sure to let you know.
Now, moving over to Terra Luna and Stella Nova, which are located on the Epic campus.
Brand spanking new.
I was gonna say, not the OGs. These are over specifically by Epic Universe, and currently the shuttle service that is provided from these hotels takes about 15 minutes to get you to City Walk. Alternatively, there are options to ride the shuttles to go to Epic, which will be important when Epic opens on May 22nd. The timing for those shuttles is to be determined at this point, but based off of a location and how close it is, I'm saying 5 to 10 minutes most. Part of that'll be a matter of just getting people on and off the buses.
And Stella Nova does have a dedicated walking path to Epic Universe. Terra Luna does not currently. However, that's probably going to change if I'm a betting man.
I'd like to think they'll put in a little walking bridge to go over those roads, but it's not there yet. So as far as walking from Terra Luna, just so we're clear, you're gonna play a little Frogger. Yeah, so be careful on that one. If you're at Stella Nova, there is a dedicated walking path. And if you're looking to ride a water taxi, that's out.
Yeah, you can't do that from Terra Luna or Stella Nova over to the parks. Maybe we'll get a Skyline eventually.
Ooh, that'd be neat. Take you over the windmill while it's on fire.
Cool.
Watch out for flying dragons.
The consistent thing that I think we'll experience throughout this video is it will depend on what you want to do during your Universal Orlando vacation. Do you plan on spending most of your time at Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, or Volcano Bay? Or do you want to prioritize Epic Universe?
And then you gotta factor in EPA. Which park do you wanna hit up first thing in the morning? Are you going to Islands to ride Hagrid's, or when Epic opens, are you doing a little early park admission in that place?
Next, moving on to amenities. We're talking pool, gym, dining, and the all-important game room.
Of course, that's where everyone spends their time when they're at these hotels, correct?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. At Aventura, you have some pretty neat amenities over at this hotel. First, you do have a pool It is sleek and modern, a little smaller than your average size pool. On top of that, Ben's favorite, there is a game room. So you can go ahead and play hoop, shoot, and I don't know the different things, but
air hockey.
Play your games while you're outside of the park. They also have a dedicated gym space, so you can go ahead and get your workout on. And my favorite thing at Aventura is at the rooftop of the hotel, it is Bar 17 Bistro, so you can enjoy some light bites and a nice drink while looking out on the skyline of both the parks and Volcano Bay. Furthermore, there is cafeteria style dining where you can go ahead and go down to Urban Pantry in the main floor of Aventura, enjoy some nice eats in the cafeteria.
Terra Luna and Stella Nova have very similar layouts as well as amenities. They're almost cookie cutter of each other. They are flipped, people.
There's different names.
Difference. But we will get to more of the difference in theming here in just a little bit. At Stella Nova, you have the Cosmos Market and Cosmos Cafe, and at Terra Luna, you have the Omega Cafe and the Omega Market. You also have some shiny, brand new gyms, as well as some shiny, brand new pools.
The game rooms are also fantastic. Ben can't forget to mention those, but
they're there.
The difference at Stella Nova and Terra Luna when it comes to dining is you're going to go ahead and place your order. They're going to give you those nice little beepers that will buzz when your order is ready. So you're not really waiting around in the cafeteria for your order to be up. You're going to be able to go grab a place to sit, hang out, grab your drinks, and then when your order is ready, they'll call you, you'll go and grab it and bring it back to your table.
The amenities between Stella Nova, Terra Luna, and Aventura are all very similar. What I think does set Aventura apart from Stella Nova or Terra Luna is having Bar 17 on the roof.
It's true. As the main difference between these three hotels as far as amenities go, because it's pretty cool to be able to hang out on a rooftop bar at the end of your evening, have a nice nightcap, and then go ahead and head back to your room. You're not gonna get that at Stella Nova and Terra Luna.
Now, let's talk about where you're gonna lay your head down at night after a long day in the park.
This may be my most important thing when it comes to picking the hotel, aside from price.
We're talking rooms. Aventura, Stella Nova, and Terra Luna all offer some very sleek, modern, minimalistically themed rooms.
Yeah, they're kind of similar in that sense, aren't they? Like, you're gonna be able to get your typical size room, 2 queen beds, a king option if that's what you're looking
Deluxe
for.
rooms.
Deluxe rooms. But overall, the theming of these, different, but same. If you're at Aventura, you're gonna have a clean, modern, futuristic. Yeah, that is like the key piece of Aventura. It kind of reminds me of like
the Jetsons.
I was gonna say, it's the rocket ship that takes you into space.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Like it is like a robotic feel, and it is very, very clean. One of my favorite pieces about Aventura is you get this cool tablet and you can control everything in your room that you would like.
Request towels and things like that.
Yeah, and have things delivered to your room by a robot. Even if you don't need the amenity, have the robot deliver it to you.
Stella Nova and Terra Luna have very similar rooms. Stella Nova is themed around the cosmos and space, so you're gonna feel very almost cold in those rooms, a lot of whites, a lot of blues. Terra Luna is more based around the moon, and so it's a little warmer. You get some browns, get some greens, and more lunar-based theming.
So depending on what you're feeling and what kind of vibe you want when you put your head down on the bed at night, do you want to be on a rocket ship? Do you want to be in the cosmos? Or do you want to visit the moon?
All the rooms at the prime level are, like we said, very, very similar. You do get some technological upgrades at Aventura as opposed to Terra Luna or Stella Nova, but in terms of the feel, they're going to feel very, very similar. The thing that we failed to mention is that Terra Luna and Stella Nova have these fancy, futuristic motion sensor lights, which
I was gonna say that's a technological upgrade in some sense.
Will throw you for a loop the first time.
Yeah, they're motion sensored lights, and I don't know if they're working as well as we'd like them to, but
just be ready for a fright if you're staying at Terra Luna or Stella Nova and you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night.
Just don't go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. That's all. That's how you fix it. Just don't move in the middle of the night.
Sticking with the theming and atmosphere, not just of the rooms, but of the hotels as a whole.
Aventura, when you first walk in, it is big, it is open, but it is so clean and modern. It's kind of like walking into MIB headquarters. I'm loving these, similes today.
Yeah, analogies,
but it really feels like that to me. On the flip side, Stella Nova and Terra Luna, they are also sleek and modern, but they have a little bit more of that futuristic feel to it. And with the different themes of Cosmos and the moon, it just gives a whole different vibe compared to the minimalism that you're getting at Aventura. I think we can chalk up the theming and the overall atmosphere as kind of being one and the same. They have different themes, but overall the atmosphere, very, very similar.
I like the analogy that Aubrey used earlier. Aventura is the rocket ship that takes you up into space, and then you can visit Terra Luna or Stella Nova, whether you're gonna be in the cosmos or visiting the moon.
But theming aside, I think one of the most important things when it comes to planning your Universal vacation is deciding where your price point's at and what hotel fits best for you.
Especially when you're talking that prime level category, price is a huge consideration as you're planning your Universal adventures. Aventura is likely, especially at this time, going to be more expensive than Terra Luna or Stella Nova, even after Epic Universe opens. I just pulled up the prices for the week after opening, and Aventura is still noticeably higher than Stella Nova or Terra Luna, even for the week just after Epic opens.
Now that might change with Epic opening on May 22nd, 2025, especially with the proximity of Terra Luna and Stella Nova right next to the Epic Park. But then you also have Helios Grand that may change that as far as pricing goes, because that is a whole nother tier within the hotel categories. So we may see that Terra Luna and Stella Nova stay at a lower rate compared to Aventura.
If you had to pick one of the hotels to stay at, which one would you choose to stay at?
It honestly depends for me what park we're gonna spend more time in. If we're gonna be hanging out in Epic and we've got tickets on tickets on tickets to be able to go over there, which does add up in itself, I would say I would prefer to stay at Terra Luna or Stella Nova. However, if I'm spending more of my time at the OG parks, we're talking islands, we're talking studios, if we're doing HHN, being able to head back to Aventura during the day and have a nice break, or be able to easily get back to that hotel after having a long night out of nightmare fuel and houses and things of that nature, Aventura might be the winner, but it really will depend on price point and what are we looking to do during our stay.
I agree. I think the single day ticket nature of Epic Universe currently is still lending itself to people gravitating to the legacy parks, which is why you're seeing Aventura be a little more expensive, even after Epic Universe opens.
Yeah.
Once we start getting annual passes and multi-day tickets for Epic Universe, you might see some of those crowds gravitate from the legacy campus over to the Epic Universe campus and see Terra Luna and Stella Nova start going up in price.
Yeah, but as it stands right now with the single day tickets or the like buy 3 days, have 1 day at Epic, whatever that makeup is, to me it makes more sense to go, all right, let me go stay closer to the other parks that I'm gonna spend my other days in more often, and then pop over to Epic for the day that I have my ticket. If you're planning a trip to Epic, we do have a video to help you prepare with our essentials that we expect we are going to be packing when we visit the parks for the first time, so you should check it out after this.
If you got anything out of this video, please subscribe to the channel. It really does help us out. Stick around for more Universal and Epic Universe content. Thanks for watching.
Bye!